to a roadside watch repairer. Now, if you read my profile, you will find, 2008 Stanford Fellow. I've done great work across Africa. I worked in the African Union for 10 years as a consultant. I've done quite a lot of work across Africa and internationally as well. But if you know my story and you read my profile, they are totally apart. And so I get this question from a lot of young people. Please, ma'am, how did you do it? Where did you do it? Who helped you? My father was the last born of 3 children. 3 children from the 5th wife of a king in Usendo, in Bionigo. So yes, royalty, it was very poor. You know that royalty that the only thing you have is land, and then the villagers bring their yams and whatever to you. That was our own royalty, but the shoulder was like this. With nothing. But titles without value is nothing. And so if you have a title, they call you pastor. You say, is that working like this? They call you daddy. You say, you work like this. When I do classes for C-suite executives, top C-suite executives, I say to them, when we get into the hall, write all your titles you've ever been called: doctor, reverend, pastor, daddy, mommy, auntie. Write everything in a piece of paper, and I take baskets and I collect it. Then I ask them, without all these titles, who are you? 9 out of 10 times. The only thing they have is their title. Some of you young people in this room, the only thing you have is that, don't talk to me like that, I'm crying. That's all you have. What value do you bring? You know this conversation they say people have when you want to marry the young men of these days that don't want to work. They will say a young girl that is struggling, they say that, what will you bring to the table? Now I let the young girls have started answering them to say, I am the devil. I like that. Do you understand? Because it is about value. People would remember you because you are graduate. Graduation is 1 for 10 cover. Even terrorist school now, they wear graduation now. So graduation is 2 for 10 cover. What is the value that you bring? I was born to a family, like I said, my father was a roadside worship prayer. And poor people, they like plenty children. They say that is wealth. I don't know what kind of wealth. We're living in 1-room apartment, 6 children. 6 children! And we were hungry all the time. Listen, I understand what hunger does to people. Sometimes people steal to eat, not because they are thieves, not because we know us them more. Kill them. Hunger is not a good thing, except that hunger, as someone will say, is redirected. As someone said, when he was staying in the uncompleted building and was hungry, all he could think about, how do I change this so that I do not remain hungry? That is the story of my life. I was in Form 4. I went to school when we had forms, not years. I was in Form 4 when I became the senior prefect girl, but I began my school. I was born, bred, buttered, garnished in Lagos. Some people that were saying I should not come back to Lagos, that have already seized their return tickets. Dr. Aki, I was born, bred, buttered, garnished, cooked, cleaned, curried, maggied in Lagos. I can claim a full Yoruba woman, and at the same time, I'm a full-blooded Igbo woman. No, that woman is so much in everybody. If I Because when you come from the kind of background that I came from, and you want to change the trajectory of your life, you don't sit and complain. There's no time for that. You get up and you walk. Somebody met me somewhere carrying 25 liters of water on my head. She looked, she passed. She said, "It cannot be her." Then she came back, she looked again, said, "Madam, no doctor in me." I said, "Oh, now, even this water, na doctor." Young people, reinvention is that you decide from day one, every single day that you wake up, that you see my background, you will not put my back on the ground. It's every day you wake up and you say, I am not waiting for that my uncle to help me. Because most of you, all you do is sweat for that your brother or father's brother, that he himself struggled to bring himself out of poverty and managed to cross the border and go to Ghana. From Ghana he got to America. I feel sorry for you. I sent a message on Facebook. Brother, I for your number I worry about my people in Akwa Ibom State. I feel no mad, afraid. Excuse me if you do not speak in Akwa Ibom, but you see, this is homecoming. And if you are here, you do not speak the language, you better look for one fine girl. We are ready, Thinkation to sponsor. You were not listening when I told you that I was not bread, butter, garnished, cooked, curried in Lagos. We own Lagos. I want no engineer. But right now, when you're on Lagos, I want me, I told there, I told Co, I want to it's your dance here, it's your dance. Let me tell you something. When life comes at you, they say when something pursues you and you run, and then there's no way to run again, what happens? That has been the story of my life. I wasn't given a choice. Like I said, my father was the last one of 3 children from a royal home. 17 children altogether. Who was going to help me? My father was sent after he did standard 6 to go and learn watch repairing with somebody that used to buy gari from his mother. His mother was an Egba prince who used to travel like in those days in the 1930 something. And will come to Akwa Ibom to buy palm oil and go. When she's coming from Egbaland, she will bring materials to come and sell. And then when she's going back, she will buy palm oil from here to take back. And then this king saw this beautiful woman and decided to do what the Yorubas would call Obesele. And he married her. Very rising woman. That's why my father would call her his mother. And that who and what is poverty. And so the first thing that I say to you, begin to ask yourself, this place that I am, do I like it? You can say something, I don't like it, but what are you doing about it? Gone through school, but school have not gone through you. Because if I give you something to write now, you can't even write proper English. But you will not let me drink water and keep up. Some of you have masters, but you do not master any value. They're quite lonely because I've interacted with so many, and I must say it today, a lot of you disappoint me. I don't want this so. There's no commercialness, no entrepreneurial spirit, there's no desire to be better, there's no It's enough. Many of you young men, you have no ambition. It is disgusting. All you think about is to be SA and PA to SA. I don't know this. Yes, government is the biggest employer of labor in any country. But the informal sector is the one that holds the economy together. I have a first degree in English language and literary studies from the University of Calabar. I have a postgraduate diploma in management human resources. I went back and did a first degree in business administration. I did an MBA, and then I did a doctorate. I've written a few articles. I want to copy. Where's Dr. Imo? I want to copy it because all the people here are not allowing me. Hi, nice to see you. All the people here are not allowing me. They say, Prof, they want to kill me. My brain is not as big as yours. But you know what? I always remember. Oh, I always remember. I was 11 the very first time they threw our things out because my father couldn't pay rent for a one-room apartment. Oh, that image stays with me every day. My mother, there's nothing my mother did not say in this life, and I'm sure maybe that's why I'm like this too. One time she went to carry eggs on credit. As she was coming, she knocked her feet and fell. And this woman sat on the ground on the road and wept. Oh, that image refuses to leave my mind. And that's why I say to people, you know, I put it on my Instagram page. I said, recently somebody said to me when he saw that I was graduating, he said, Auntie, when will you stop? What is it? Why do everything? And I said to him, you know, some of us were not given a choice. Some of us were given a mandate to pull our family, our siblings, the entire generation we come from the gutters of poverty. And because of that, we cannot stop. It's not possible. Because the generations after me must understand that in the lineage that they come from, in the bloodline that they come from, there was a woman called Eve. A woman who never stopped. I lived in Addis Ababa for 10 years. I was a consultant with the African Union. We had all sorts of international cuisine, anything you could think of. Italian, Lebanese, Chinese, any kind of food, Turkish food, Arabian food. It was a thriving diplomatic community, but we didn't have Nigerian food. If you really want to eat Nigerian food, it's only when we are doing Oktoberfest and the Nigerian embassy. So everybody must be there because we want to eat egusi and something. And me, the ever busy queen, I started thinking, okay, I will run to Lagos. I borrowed money first. Come, I buy egusi, buy crayfish, buy this, buy that, and come. I get egusi, you go buy. You get now here. I want. In fact, I want everything. The first time you are doing good there, I just sold the day anyhow. The second time I learned that, first, the number of Nigerians in Ethiopia. And they're not just Nigerians, the Beninese and the Beninois and the Ghanaians also. I came back to Lagos, you see. Before you eat, I told them that, you see, you don't even need to buy, I can cook this food for you. Now in Ethiopia, meat is very cheap and they don't eat the skin. They throw the skin away. When I found that as I came to Lagos, I went to Omushi, stayed there for 2 days. Now, all of this I was doing it, I had 2 master's degrees, so don't get me wrong. Many of you think you are all that, you are bullshit. You are nothing. The value of a person is in the value that they give. It is not in titles. It's not in certificates. It's not in qualifications. What value do you bring? What is that thing that you have that people must see and people must look? I started cooking a pussy on my one part of the pussy then was $50. Everything I did was maybe like $10. And like joke like play, the African embassy started ordering. That's how I became a full-time caterer. For every embassy event, I made the African dish. For the Ghanaian embassy, the Nigerian embassy, the EU embassy, practically almost all the African embassies. But somebody will say that should be enough now. I started going to sewing school. In Ethiopia, they teach you sewing with paper. You first learn with paper, then you start cutting with paper, then you sew the paper before you get onto cloth. And every time someone asks me, so do you intend to open the I say, I don't know. Knowledge is lost. What is that thing that you have in your hand? Many of you parents will say, I don't want my children. Suffer what exactly? Suffer the training that life gave you? Because for every time you go through something, life is training you. Life is just preparing you for the next stage. You will until you have been prepared for the next level. If you are handling 250 million, you will not go to 500 billion. No. And if you go to 500 billion, you will mismanage it. Then you become former big man. We have plenty of them in Akwa, not only in Akwa, in Nigeria. I remember in 2018, so I'm a Stanford Fellow, the 2008 Draper Hill Stanford Fellow from the University of Stanford. And after my fellowship in 2008, I used to go back for 5 years. The school invited me for 5 years because I was the governor of my class. For 5 years to come back to do what they call an associate lecturer for the new fellows that were coming. And so they will pay my flight ticket first class, because they are first class. See, I'm a crier. And that's why I'm so happy they didn't play my brother's, I didn't see Ubong's face today, because I will cry. So I started acting drama inside the first class. Oh, that's first class. Then I would like that straight. Then I would cry again. Then when they started bringing the dishes, I said, hello ma'am, what would you like please? We had already given the because I was once married to a man who told me, I've been on good order. And your family before the book of clean. Yes, told me that. He thought he did me a favor by marrying me. And that's why I say to you young girls, you're giving yourself cheaply to a man when you have nothing. As much as you think men only respect women of value, a woman who can stand on her own. That's why a lot of the young boys now, they don't want to work, they're looking for hard-working girls. You think that they're crazy? It is only when you have been able to hold yourself and to prove value that there are certain men you used to like when you were in their work. By the time you get to your fight, you're like, even if we say, what time you be together from your work, and you are like, you know, because actually, in fact, you are not in my class. And you are not saying it out of Marry a man with ambition. Marry a man that has hunger. He wakes up every morning. He's thinking what else to do. It's not the one that said, you know what, I invest the business and in that work. You know, I'm still trying to see maybe I can get commissioner, market commissioner. We are going to blow. There's something called the alchemy of pain. The alchemy of pain. And what I wrote here is that you can move from trauma to talent. Pain is often a signal that something is bad, something is broken, something is not right. That's a signal. Now, what you do with that signal is what I call your research and development phase. This thing pains me. I don't like it. I absolutely love Dr. Iboita's story. Because immediately I heard the story, I was like, that's a good example to use for my first point. How do you use a time when many of you would have stepped down? I can't be going to school with these young boys. I see all of them. Because some of you in this life, the only thing you have is age. You see not everybody. And once you see nobody can talk to you anyhow. But talk to me, I can talk to you. Talk to me. My name is Imi. Because some of you, the only thing you have is the position you are in. Your Excellency, they don't like my greeting. I said to them, I had a class, now they call me on my idea. They call me say, you know, one of us heard you speak. You would like you to come and talk to us. You know, how we are behaving, what we will do after politics. I don't know here. And I said, okay, no problem. Everybody collect paper. I want you to write your obituary. Hey! Why should I write my obituary? You know, sometimes if you are not here, people will come and be writing. Some people have. That you built while you were in office. Who is going to stand up 10 years from now and say, but for a I will not have a roof over my head. My children will not be in school. My wife will have ended. Who will say that about you? Many of us are in our 60s, but we can't point to any legacy. The only legacy we have is the evil folk. You know what I mean? I want for every year to go on vacation. That is your legacy. When they ask you what is your legacy, my children are in America. That's what is the human development.